back in black in the building, man. Shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation. Roll call. You already know what it is. Shout out to everybody out there in Arizona. Man, Arizona, it's hot in the motherfucking Arizona. So shout out to everybody in Arizona. Shout out to everybody in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh my God. Vegas and Arizona is very disrespectful. This 118, 120, I can't do it. They wrong for that. It's way too hot. Or cut down the power bill. Power bill shouldn't be so goddamn expensive. They wrong for that. Shout out to everybody in AZ and Arizona and Las Vegas, Nevada, all my siblings. Oh my God, it's hot as a motherfucking Vegas. So shout out to them. Shout out to AZ. I got some people out there with AZ, so shout out to them. Oh man, shout out to all my siblings out there in Vegas and in Cali. I was laughing at something one of my siblings sent to me. My sister sent to me on Instagram. Oh man, that was funny. But anyway, shout out to everybody in California too. Shout out to my sister Shawnee, Philly in the building. Shout out to Erica, Florida in the building, aka Florida. Shout out to my brothers, James Youngblood, Texas in the building. And my brother Dave from No Compromise, Georgia is in the building. Shout out to the homegirl Jerica as well. And shout out to, last but not least, my homegirl Melina, North Carolina, aka North Kakalaka's in the building. Man, we got a sad one today. I've been kind of watching the story and looking at it. But I'm going to tell y'all, didn't I tell y'all about this mental health shit? They want y'all to do mental health. And then when somebody have a mental health episode, they have no compassion or empathy for foundational black Americans. Let's get it, y'all. Man. This one isn't, I'm not too happy about this one today. I don't like being right. That's why I don't like listening to people. Oh, your mental health. Now we have a foundational black American that's having a mental health episode and they kill him. So what do you mean mental health? And that's why I keep telling y'all, don't be going along with what they say. Yeah, mental health. Go see a therapist. Yeah, mental health. Yep. Mental health. Yep. Right. Hey, man, mental health episode. Yeah. I'm having a mental health episode and I get killed. You see what I'm saying? See, we can't do what they do. So don't follow. When a person say, man, your mental health is important, say, well, why? Devontae Mitchell, his mental health was important. They killed him. All right, so I'm about to play this. I'm not too happy at all. And this shit is irritating. Here we go.
They're investigating the death of a black man who was pinned to the ground outside a Hyatt Regency last month. A video captures the moment 43-year-old Devontae Mitchell is held down on the hotel's driveway by 4 security guards. We want to warn you, the footage that we are about to show is disturbing. And we should note that CBS News cannot independently confirm the source of this video. It appears to show the guards hitting Mitchell in the head while he said, quote, this is what happens when you go into the ladies' room.
But what if he identified as a woman? I'm not saying that brother did, but hold on. What if you don't know? What if he was having an episode? What if he was schizophrenic? You don't know if he was having a mental episode. You don't know that. And you're not trained to know that. You should have called law enforcement, detained him and called law enforcement, not beat the shit out of him. This is what I'm saying, y'all. Remember, look, if you just joined the channel, you got to go back and look at podcasts I did like 2-3 years ago. I have always been like, y'all better stop listening to the dominant society talk this mental health shit because it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you at all. It's going to work for them, but it ain't going to work for you. This brother was probably having a real mental health episode. I remember I did a podcast. Erica, I know you remember. Remember that podcast where that brother, I think he was in like upstate New York and he was having a mental episode and they arrested him and he was butt naked and he ended up dying in custody. They like handcuffed him, like hog-tied him. And it was snowing, and people were like, and his family was like, man, he's having a mental episode. Like, he's having a mental episode. And they ended up killing him. And they hog-tied him. I forgot that brother's name. But I did a podcast about that like 3 years ago. And he was in upstate New York, and he was having a mental episode. So his Foundation of Black American Peoples called the police and was like, I think my brother's having a mental episode. We need help. They came out there and hogtied the brother and killed him. Because he was in inhumane conditions because it was fucking freezing cold. And I kept saying then, hey, y'all, they don't fuck with us like that. For real. Not in those terms where you think you can be like, oh, I'm having a mental episode. And they be like, oh, Warren's having a mental episode, y'all. Let's back. No, they're going to beat the fuck out of me. They're going to beat the shit out of me like they doing this brother. This is what happens when you walk in the woman's bedroom. What if he identified as a woman? You don't know. What if he was going through a mental episode? You don't know. Let me tell y'all something. Before I play the video. I remember Tosh was there. My sisters was there. This was like 20-some years ago. They used to have this club at the Imperial Palace a long time ago. Watch. Tasha, put it in the I guarantee you she know. Look, me, my sister, family, cousins, everybody used to go to this club. I forgot what it was called. Margaritaville, one of these clubs. It was in front of the Imperial Palace. And I knew the bartenders, the security. We kind of basically knew everybody. And, that's when me and my sister, we used to go out all the time. She would go places. If she knew people and hooked up, I would go there, SRO, everywhere, if you're familiar with Vegas. Let me tell y'all something. I got so inebriated and so drunk in the Imperial Palace. I'm going to say this before I play it. In the Imperial Palace, the club is in the front. And if you walk into the actual casino, it's in the back. The club is on the strip. It's like right on the strip where you walk. And then the Imperial Palace is behind it the way it used to be. They changed it now. And you would have to walk all the way in the Imperial Palace and walk all the way to the back where the parking, just use the bathroom. Or you can go to the sports book. When you come out of the club, there's escalators that take you to the second story where the sports book is, and then the bathrooms are right there. Well, guess what? Warren was so inebriated, I walked into the woman's bathroom too. You damn right I did. I didn't do it purposely. I was gone. This was in the era of the Hennessy's and Coke. This was in the era of the Incredible Hulks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with drinks, but I'm very familiar with them. And you would have Incredible Hulks, the Hennessy's and Cokes. You'd have the Adios motherfucking drinks. So this one we were drinking, especially me, I was drinking a lot. You know, you young, you in Vegas. And I remember I was like, man, I got to go to the bathroom. And I remember everybody was there. Man, you good? I'm like, yeah. I walked up the escalator. I went in the bathroom. And I'll never forget this. I was like, damn, where are the urinals, the urinals at? Like, damn, it's all toilets in here. Like, what kind of bathroom is this? I'm looking around. I'm like, man, where are the urinals at? And then I was like, I think I'm in the wrong bathroom. And I started laughing because I didn't give a fuck. I walked out, that lady said, oh my God, you in the wrong bathroom. I said, I know I am. And I went into the men's bathroom. And then when I came back down, I said, man, I just walked into the wrong bathroom. I ain't going up there no more because I was so inebriated. I was. And after that, I didn't drink anymore because I was like, man. And thank God that lady didn't call security on me. Back then, it wasn't like that because I was like, oh my God, I think I am. And the lady kind of laughed at me too. And then I just went into the men's bathroom. And then I knew because I was like, oh, it's a bunch of urinals in here. I was in the wrong fucking bathroom. And when I went back to the club, I was like, oh, what's wrong with you? Because people were standing outside. And I said, man, I went into the women's bathroom. And they was laughing. All the people I was there was like, nigga, you went in the wrong bathroom. I was like, nigga. They was like, how you know you was in the wrong bathroom? I said, nigga, wasn't no urinals in there. It was all just toilets with doors on them. And they was like, how you know it wasn't the men's bathroom? I was like, men's bathrooms always in Vegas always have urinals. And they was like, well, how you know that wasn't the women's bathroom? I was like, women don't use urinals, nigga. They use toilets. But, I'm focused, but I was inebriated. And after that, I was like, okay, I don't need to drink anymore. But guess what? The wrong person could have saw that and said, hey, some fucking creepo is in the woman's bathroom walking around. I could have went to jail. I could have got fucked up. But thank God in Vegas at that time, you want to know, people knew if you was on that shit. And that lady probably knew because, oh, and by the way, I had a drink in my hand when I went to the bathroom too. So that's why. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you all my example. So you don't know what the fuck is going on until you assess the situation. Thank God that lady laughed at me and didn't call the fucking police and be like, some fucking black guy creepos in the woman's bathroom. And since I'm on camera, guess what? They don't give a fuck about me being publicly intoxicated. Nigga, jail for you. So I thank God for that. That's why I'm like, y'all don't know what the fuck he had going on. He probably drunk. You don't know. I just thought I would give y'all the disclaimer because I did that shit too. Now, no, I wasn't. Look, I'll tell y'all if I was on some creep shit. But no, I wasn't on no creep shit. I was more on some, it fucked me up because I was like, God damn, why ain't got no urinals in here? For real.
It all happened after Milwaukee police say that he caused a disturbance, fought with security, and then he was escorted outside. In a separate video taken by another bystander, you can see first responders surrounding Mitchell. When they arrived, Mitchell was unresponsive and then later pronounced dead. The medical examiner's office ruled the death a homicide initially, but more tests are being done. Mitchell's mother believes.
What y'all bet they're gonna say he was inebriated or he was high, and then they're gonna try to make it where it isn't a homicide. You know why? Because now that hotel's gonna be liable. And guess what happens when hotels are liable? You're going to get sued. And guess what happens when a civil lawsuit comes up? Ben Crump comes around the corner. Ambulance chaser. And guess what happens when he come along? You better get ready to write a check. Then guess what happens what it does to your brand? It devalues your brand because now you will be considered a racial, anti-black fucking hotel business. Then people are going to picket, fucking talk shit about you on Instagram, talk shit about you on Twitter. That's why they're like, oh fuck. If I wouldn't think, they probably fired those employees, and those were probably cops in training who wanted to be a police so bad. Because I've been around security. Security don't be tripping like that. They escort you out even if you trip in and call the police. Those motherfuckers were type flight security of the world, Craig.
He was suffering from a mental health episode. In a statement, Hyatt said Aimbridge Hospitality, which manages the Milwaukee Hotel's employees, suspended the security guards involved. The company also said it is fully committed to supporting efforts to help ensure accountability for Mitchell's death. And earlier, I spoke to an eyewitness who took video of the aftermath. His name is Sean Moore. So I want to thank you so much for joining us, Sean. This is the sort of video that no one wants to find themselves taking. You want to shoot video of your loved ones, of your pets, not something like this. Extremely traumatic. How are you doing right now? How are you feeling?
I'm still a little numb. I still question myself. Dealing with it.
Yeah. Give me a sense of what happened that day. What made you decide to come over to the hotel? What made you decide to pull out your phone?
So I was over at the dorm visiting my son who does music, and he needed some cleaning supplies. So I was walking to Walgreens, and when I came out the dorm, I heard the screaming.
When you said you heard screaming, what were you hearing?
Like, please, please. I heard him screaming from the hotel.
Right. So you walk up, and what's the first thing you think about the scene that you're witnessing?
Well, initially, I was speaking with the witnesses that were outside, and they were telling me that this guy ran into the women's bathroom and the security caught him, and that's what was going on. Mm-hmm. But I heard the sounds of him being hit. And as I approached, this young lady started filming. And I watched as the security officer struck him with a flashlight or some object.
Y'all better make a mental note of that. What are you doing striking him with a damn flashlight? Now, what type of shit is that?
And we stopped him from striking him, but they never got off of him.
Uh-huh.
So you run over because you can hear Devontae screaming. You can hear the confrontation. And are you there the entire time until the paramedics come?
I was there until they removed the body.
At some point, do you recall when you no longer heard screaming?
maybe 4 minutes after I arrived. And I was there 7 to 10 minutes before the police came.
Now, I want to stress that this is still under investigation. We don't know what the disturbance was.
Doesn't matter what the disturbance is. This foundational black man witnessed another foundational black man get his ass beat by security. They beat him to death. That's what he saw. So I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. And I get it. This lady's trying to do her job and make sure they're not speaking matter-of-factly, but I'm speaking matter-of-factly. He got his ass beat for about 10 minutes. Y'all beat the shit out of him. Y'all killed him. And that's what happened.
That the security is saying was caused at the hotel, and we still don't know why Davante died, what the cause of death might be. But as you're watching this unfold and he stopped screaming, could you see him moving at all?
You really couldn't see that because of the bodies that were on him. There were 4 security guards. One was holding his ankles, and you had the other 3 above the waist on him, applying pressure, holding him down.
And when did they get off of Davante?
When the police arrived.
Uh-huh. And so
when the first officer arrived.
They get off, and Davante's still lying there.
Yeah. The officer checked his pulse. He checked his wrist first, then he checked his neck. He turned him over. I thought the officer said that he had a pulse, so I was good with that. But then he started the compressions and the CPR, and you can hear me on the video saying that they killed him.
You saw that something was very, very wrong.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Was it just that they were doing compressions, or did Davante's body just look different? Was it when you saw him? Could you see
his body had went limp? It was. You could tell.
That's a very good question. She's actually asking some really good questions. What happened? Because you know what? Those witnesses might be called during trial. The district attorney might call them and be like, all right, so what did you see? Now watch they try to fuck with this brother's credibility and dig up all kinds of shit on him and all this other sucker shit. Watch, you'll see. But guess what? Might not, because this isn't a police occurrence. These are top flight securities of the world. So guess what? They asses might be going to prison for homicide.
I've done this work, this community work. I've worked with families who have lost people, and after they turned him over, I knew he was gone.
I can see how tough this is for you. Have you spoken at all to Davante's family? I mean, I'm sure at the time you had no idea who Davante was, but now we know a little bit more about him, that, he's a father and well loved, and their family was concerned that he might have been having a mental health crisis at the time. Have you had a chance to speak to them? Because I think they were actually asking for video.
Yes, I have been in contact with the family. I gave them the videos. That's the least I could do.
Man.
Looking back, I wish I had done more, but how can you look into the future and say, well, they're going to kill him? No, he's not going to make it. I never thought that.
Well, Sean, I appreciate you speaking with us. You're out trying to help out your son, and suddenly you find yourself kind of folded into what has become a national story and a national conversation. And so I appreciate you taking time out.
Wow. Wow. Oh, man. I don't even understand. Here, let's see. I think they have, let's see if we can get this.
Ready to step?
Nope, we're not. I just want to get a few seconds of Oh man, that breaks my heart. It just breaks my. And you could tell that brother is probably heartbroken because you think to record it, but you don't think the brother gonna die. Then when he died, you're like, damn, I could have done more. Here we go. Let's see.
Funeral of Devontae Mitchell at Holy Redeemer Church.
Mitchell died more than a week ago after an altercation with hotel security at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Milwaukee. Fox 6's Bria Jones joins us here in studio after being at today's emotional service. Bria?
Ben, Steph, Devontae Mitchell was a son, father, and husband. Tonight, the employees involved in the altercation have been fired. But while saying their final farewell, his family let it be known their fight for justice is just beginning.
Yep.
Keep on holding on.
Songs of hope.
Yes, he is.
Words of encouragement.
I know he see the love, and I know he's seeing everything that we doing for him, and I know he's smiling down.
And now Devontae Mitchell's mother cries for justice, getting national attention at his celebration of life.
We want justice for Devontae. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Mitchell died on June 30th. Graphic video shows security personnel at the Hyatt Regency Hotel pinning Mitchell down.
And look at that
in
brother.
downtown Milwaukee.
Those
The
two brothers should be
43-year-old was a
ashamed of
son,
themselves.
father.
It was two brothers in that video, and you should be a goddamn shame of yourself. The fuck is wrong with us sometimes? I'd be like, hey, bro, you doing too much. You're doing too much, bro. You're gonna kill him. You're doing too much. What are you doing? Man.
Two and husband.
My heart is so heavy. I just want to remember. I want to remember the best parts of him.
And I want you to know your daddy was somebody.
Delivering the eulogy, Reverend Al Sharpton at Holy Redeemer Church.
You should not lose just your job when Devontae lost
You should go to prison.
his life. What they did was a crime.
Man. And I don't even agree with this dry snitching motherfucking Al Sharpton, but he ain't lying about that. Bro, that was a crime.
And criminals need to be prosecuted.
Sharpton
Man.
and attorney Ben Crump believe the case mirrors the gut-wrenching death of George Floyd.
We are here because of the unnecessary, the unjustifiable, and the unconstitutional killing of Devontae Mitchell.
Crump sat down exclusively with Fox 6 following the funeral to talk the next steps in the walk for justice. We now know those employees have been fired. What else would you like to see happen to them?
Go to fucking jail and sue the hotel and get about $10 million.
Well, obviously, you want justice. I mean, you killed a human being.
Man.
You took his life, and it was senseless.
And Ben, Steph, right now the family is calling for the community to continue to join them in their fight for justice.
I know live on the air yesterday, Bria, Ben Crump said today would be for mourning.
Yes.
Tomorrow they're going to be back protesting again.
Exactly. They say they want people to continue to come out to the Hyatt Regency daily, they say, to fight for justice for Devontae.
Now, y'all know they don't be... Look, that's why in Vegas, them security will kick you out and call the police immediately. They don't play that shit. Matter of fact, most hotels on the Strip, the police are already in there, walking around in their army fatigue and everything, letting you know, you ain't going to have to deal with security. You're going to deal with us. That's the difference. I'm not justifying nothing. I'm just saying that's why in Vegas, a lot of the times you ain't going to see or hear security killing people because that's too much liability for the hotel. So they just call the police, which I ain't mad at them. Like, no, we just going to call the police. We not finna do that. I've had friends that have got 86 out of hotels and stuff like that by security. They just be like, bro, you got to go. Come back in like 90 days or something, man. You'll be good. Like, they don't be doing that because it's too much liability for the hotel. These were rogue security, basically top flight of the world, Craig.
Do you know if that protesting is going to continue through next week? I mean, it's a big week for Milwaukee, and I know the Hyatt Regency Hotel is just outside the perimeter.
And see, that was another big thing. They were saying, they know that the RNC is coming. It's just a few days away, but they tell us that this is not just an inconvenience, that Devontae's life was much more important than anything, any event that's coming to town. So they want people to continue to come out there.
And this is becoming a national story. There's a lot of cameras about to come to town for the RNC, too. So, all right, Bria, thanks.
Now to the investigation one day after protests. A community activist says action is needed to bring justice for Mitchell's family.
If it means picketing D.A. Chisholm's office, which I'm sure we will be doing, we'll be picketing his office. If it means more marches, if it means calling on our city officials to get involved, whatever it takes.
That's white man speaking, but he basically like, what did I tell you? They need to contact the DA and be like, y'all need to do something. Press charges. That was a homicide. No, I don't give a fuck if he ran in the damn woman's bathroom butt naked. Okay, didn't arrest him. But you don't do that shit. You don't kill him. Man, the Dominant Society and all these other racial groups do sucker shit all day long and all day strong. Remember I played that? Look, Erica, I know she remember. I know some of these people remember. Remember I did that? Remember I did that one podcast on that woman that was at her niece was at the YMCA, and the man that identified as a woman was dressing, taking off his clothes in the woman's bathroom, and she went to the YMCA, and they justified that shit. They was like, oh, well, there's nothing really we could do. He identifies as a woman. Remember that? I didn't see security running up in there beating the shit out of that white man, but of course, a black man running in the woman's bathroom, oh, shit. King Kong type shit. That's the mentality that they have. I'm telling you right now.
That is Brian Verdin, the education chair for the Milwaukee Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. Verdin says justice means there needs to be changes as well as indictments. People also probably need to go to jail. He says they're following the family's wishes on how to proceed forward. A spokesperson at Ambridge Hospitality is responding, saying in part the conduct from several associates violated their policies and procedures. Following review of their actions, the employment has been terminated of their security guard.
It don't matter here. Let's got the music back on. I just wanted to play that. I know we had a lot of, video, but I really wanted y'all to hear that because this is what they're not talking about. This is the shit that they're not talking about. Now, I'm gonna give y'all about 2 minutes and let y'all know how long have I'm talking about the people. Shout out to everybody that joined the channel. Hey man, we want this channel to grow organically. We're not on here cloud chasing. That's just not what we want to do. We don't do that shit. We want to cloud chase. We know how to cloud chase and do that and find, sucker videos. And hey man, that's for those people. That's their lane. That's not my lane. I want real information to go to the people, and then you do what you do with it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, go back to them podcasts I was doing 2-3 years ago. How many times I used to even be like, Charlemagne needs to stop promoting mental health because it's not gonna be beneficial for us. David from No Compromise, no. James Youngblood, no. My siblings, Tasha and them, they know. I've been saying that. I'm not saying you can't have mental health issues. I'm not saying you can't go get you a counselor or a therapist. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we have to understand it's two different operating systems. You have an Apple, iOS operating system, and then you have Windows 95 operating Windows, system or whatever. Like, we can't be like, oh, mental health, because look, that brother probably was going through a mental health episode, and them people killed. They not even policing, they killed him. That's what's even more interesting and intriguing. So why do y'all think y'all can just go rogue and kill somebody and think, well, we got fired? No, you killed someone. You should be in prison. And the black people that were in that video sitting there not doing anything about it, shame on you. Shame on you, and may the ancestors deal with you accordingly. You wrong for that. You are wrong. I don't care what that brother did. Let the justice system deal with him like they deal with every other racial group. You just sitting up there allowing these people to beat on him with a flashlight, beat him to death. And you can't lie because you're on camera, because I saw it. You're on fucking camera. So you can't sit up here and be like, oh, well, I was just doing my job. I'm so sick of niggas and they was just doing their job. No, you tell them, hey man, stop. You gonna kill him, call the police. Let's just restrain him and call the police. Let the police deal with him. No, you killed him. Then the police get here and be like, oh, he got a post. And then, oh, well, I'm gonna do compressions. He probably was dead then. This is what I mean about that mental health shit. How long have I been telling y'all? I'm talking about the people that's been listening. Shout out to the new listeners, but I've been saying this for a minute. Their mental health is different from ours. They take their mental health seriously. They don't take ours seriously. Dylan Roof, they said that man had mental health problems, even though he wrote out a manifesto about fuck niggas and I'm gonna kill all niggas. So what we gonna say now? Ryan Garcia's got a mental health problem? As he said, fuck niggas and I'm anti-black? So do he got a mental health problem? See, that's why you shouldn't go along with the dominant society's doctrines and bullshit and belief systems, because it's a trick bag. When they be like, oh, mental health, keep your mental health, start looking at their ass and be like, yeah, you're right. Right. And then really, really look and just dissect and absorb what they're saying, because if this brother was having a mental episode and probably didn't get any help for it, and those security officers, top flight security at the World, Craig, just started beating the shit out of them, not only is that a lawsuit on behalf of the goddamn family towards the damn hotel, those two security officers and everybody involved should face prison time. Those black people could be like, well, I didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing to stop it either. You just sat there and watched. So you're going to prison too. Next time you'll think twice before you just sit up there and let somebody massacre your own. We have to understand this. We can't do what they do. Just go on your regular corporate plantation job without no documentation talking about you having a mental health episode. They don't give a fuck about that. You better have all this documentation in place. And that brother probably didn't go get professional help. But his family, look, Foundational Black Americans, let me tell you something about us. We are special people, as Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about. And we know our family when they having a mental health problem. And what do we usually say? What do we usually say? Like, that's cousin Lil Kiki in there. Okay, y'all kicking it with them? Hey man, you better watch, man. Lil Kiki got mental block. So don't let her drink too much. Don't let her smoke no weed. She got a mental problem. So she can't do everything everybody else do. Ain't that how we talk to each other in black folks, in foundational Black American families? We don't be sitting up there like, well, she's got to go to a therapist and all that. We don't do that because we know the trauma that we've been through. So we know. And normally when we self-diagnose family members and other people, we be on the money. Go up to a grandmama, bring your friend or your cousin's baby around your grandmama or your auntie or your older cousins, and you be like, man, Big Mama, Lil Kiki he don't speak. Like, he don't speak. Big Mama gonna be like, oh, he probably got a little mental problem. Can he write? Yeah, he can write, but he don't speak. Yeah, he probably got a mental problem. Do he eat? Yeah, he eat. Okay, well, just keep feeding him and just work with him and try to speak with him every day. But most likely, he probably got a little mental problem. He a little mental. Long as he can write, he be all right. Now, don't tell me that ain't how foundational Black Americans, like, I'm not saying we don't need no doctors and no professional help, but Big Mama, auntie, uncle, all of them, they'll diagnose that baby before you take the baby to the doctor. Look, I'm going to tell this story. And I'm done. I remember in my church growing up, right? This is how I know foundational Black Americans are special people. Now, this is my uncle church. He's the pastor, right? Now, one of my peoples that got killed, he got killed at Keon. RIP got killed, about 20 years ago or whatever. Now, when he was a kid, I'm going to tell this story. This is a real story. And my sister can vet this shit out. When Keon was a kid, his mama, her nickname is Poochie. So Poochie would be like, Pastor, I need you to pray for Keon. He just won't stop cussing. It might be something wrong with him. So my uncle would pray. The whole church would stand up and, pray. But but my older brother and other people would be like, ain't nothing wrong with that nigga. He ain't got no damn mental problem. That nigga need his ass whooped. And guess what? Wasn't nothing wrong with Keon at all. And wasn't nothing wrong with Lil Charles either. That's his older brother. Yeah, I can speak on them because I helped raise them. And my sister know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to bring some light to it. they used to stop. She used to be like, does anybody need prayer? You know, this was in the 80s, in the early 90s. Does anybody need prayer? Come right now. And then Poochie come up, Pastor, Keon, he just won't stop cussing, Pastor. And he said, okay, my uncle get the blessed oil, and then everybody, Lord, in the blood of Jesus, and all this other stuff. My older brother was like, man, ain't nothing wrong with that nigga. He just need a good ass whooping. And let me tell you, when Keon got older, wasn't nothing wrong with him. Because foundational Black Americans, we know. We know when there's a mental block there and when there isn't. We know that about our own. So when those parents said, of Devontae Mitchell said, man, he might have been having a mental episode, they probably knew he had that the whole time, and they were able to manage it. And maybe he had a mental episode. Because we know about our own. We know, we got cousins and family that we know, okay, he got a mental block. And that's exactly what we say. We either say, look, if you got any other racial group friends, bring them around your foundational Black American family. They gonna tell you if you got a mental problem right away. It take big mama, auntie, cousins, brothers about 10 minutes to evaluate your friend if he got a mental problem. That's a fact. Because we are a special people, and we know what's regular and what's irregular. Bring your white kid around, bring your white friend around and be like, and just let your family listen to him talk. They either gonna be like, that's a badass white kid, or they're gonna be like, oh, he got a mental problem, or ain't nothing wrong with him. Immediately. And I feel like that's a gift that we got naturally from the ancestors that's been passed down. We know when a motherfucker got a mental problem. And his family knew. Devontae Mitchell's family knew, man, he may have been having a mental episode because they know just because he ain't going to no fucking doctor and they telling him, oh, well, he needs to take this type of medication and that type of medication because he's got, mental illness. No, they know. How many of us in our family, in our foundational Black American families know we got family members that got mental problems and we be the main ones like, he ain't take his medicine. We know that real quick. Go take your medication. Because what do we do in foundational Black American family if one of our family that got a mental problem get out of line? He gonna get his ass whooped. Niggas ain't gonna play with him. They gonna be like, all right, now you take that mental shit too far. So I'm just letting you know, we know that. I'm just giving you both ends of the spectrum. Like Keon, the doctors was telling Poochie like, oh, he might have a mental problem, all this other shit. Man, my brother was like, man, that nigga ain't got no mental problem. He need an ass whooping. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It wasn't nothing wrong with him either. At all. That's a gift. We know when somebody got a mental problem. And we know when they don't. And I feel like foundational Black Americans, we know that we know it. But I don't care if he did have a mental episode and go in the women's bathroom. I don't care if he went in the women's bathroom, stripped butt naked and spun around on his head 30 times. You don't have a right to kill him. That was unjust, uncalled for, and those top flight security of the world should all be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and they should do 25 years to life. Whoever always involved. If you didn't put your hands on them and you sat there and you watched as security, you should do 5 years in prison. And then you'll think twice about it. Guilty, nigga. I'm done. Peace.